Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Paige Pierce Drive from Discraft. The Drive is a slower distance driver with flight numbers 11.5, -1.2. It's supposed to be straighter and more controllable than the other distance drivers in their lineup, kind of like the Innova Wraith. So we're going to see how this drive compares to the Innova Wraith, as well as a couple of other popular 11 speeds, the DD1 from Discmania and the Latitude 64 Grace. So in terms of hand feel, these all feel very similar as they're all 11-speed drivers, but there are some minor differences between the dimensions of these discs which might help you decide which one is best for you. So starting off, the Discraft Drive is actually the smallest of these four drivers. It has a diameter of 21.1 centimeters, a rim depth of 1.1 centimeters, and a rim width of 2.1 centimeters. And the next smallest is the Innova Wraith. The only difference between this and the Discraft Drive is that the rim depth on this one is 1.2 centimeters, so it's 0.1 centimeters deeper. Not too much of a difference there. But then these last two discs are a little bit bigger. The rim width of both of these is 2.2 centimeters, and I think the Destroyer is actually 2.2 centimeters as well, so they do feel a little bit bigger in the hand. And this DD1, it's also a bigger diameter at 21.2 centimeters. Again, not too big of a difference, but in my hand, it does feel significantly bigger than the Drive does. So if you like smaller feeling drivers, the Drive is gonna be your best bet. But enough about that. We all wanna see how this thing flies, right? So I'm gonna go out to Beaver Fork, play a few holes, and see if I can find any differences between these discs. Let's get into it. All right, so I've never thrown any of these discs before, so I don't know what they're gonna do. So we're gonna start off on a pretty simple hole. It's 375-foot Hyzer, just to get a little baseline. We're gonna start off with the Latitude 64 Grace. Maybe a bit too much Hyzer on that one. Was a bit more stable than I was expecting, but still a good flight regardless. Now the Discmania DD1, a little less Hyzer this time. And a little wider, but I think the wind got under that one. Sit down. There we go. Got a putt. Now the Innova Wraith, one of my favorite discs of all time. That one flipped up considerably more. Got a little bit of turn to it, actually. And a huge fade at the end. Wow. Okay. And the Drive is up last. I'm really excited to see how this one's gonna fly. Put way too much Hyzer on it for some reason. Oh no. I thought it was gonna be flippier than that, but I was wrong. It was hard to tell the stability of those discs because we do have a pretty strong right to left wind going on right now. But first impressions, I definitely think the DD1 and the Grace were more overstable. That Wraith was way flippier than I expected. Not sure about the Drive yet. I put it on way too much Hyzer, but I expected it to be a little flippier than it was. This was the Grace. Didn't quite get it there. Still a circle 2 birdie look though. Okay. And the DD1 got a lot closer than I expected. Sweet. Starting off 2 for 2, that's what we like to see. Now I gotta find this Drive. I don't know where it went. We actually did get the Drive almost pin high, even with that much Hyzer. Just way too much left. No birdie look here. And the Wraith inside the circle. Let's go. So now that I'm warmed up and I got a better feel for how these discs are flying, we're gonna try a little bit harder shot now. This one's about 350 feet. Slightly uphill, so it's gonna play farther than that. But I wanna do a flex shot to see how these discs fight out of Hyzer. Starting off with the Discmania DD1. Didn't get that one quite high enough, but that's fighting out really nicely. Maybe I did get it high enough. About 20 feet from the basket. Now the Innova Wraith, I expect this one to flip a lot more. Oh, I don't know if that one's gonna come out. Yeah, that Wraith is so much flippier. Luckily we hit the tree though, stayed out of the rough, but completely different flights. Now the Drive. Ooh. Okay, it's definitely more overstable than the Wraith. Not by much, but very nice straight flight. Just kind of held the ante, stayed straight the whole way. Got a little bit of finish at the end, but nothing too crazy. Very tame, which is what you really want from an 11 speed. Finally the Grace. All right, that one's fighting out. Yeah, that's fading. Very similar to the DD1. Those two are the most overstable. Came up barely shorter than I expected with this Drive. Just didn't quite have that push that the other ones did. Get there. Ah. Almost snuck in that birdie too though. Okay, so I think I have my opinions on the Drive. but we'll save it until after I play these last 2 holes. I want to get a good forehand in. This one's about 350 feet. Don't have my whale sack, so my hands are kind of slippery. Oh, yeah, keep going. The Wraith, man, it's just loving it right now. Felt great on that forehand. Drive's up next. See if we can replicate that. That one kind of slipped. Not the disc fault. It's just so humid, my hands are so sweaty. The Grace, one thing that's really bad about this Royal Grand plastic is it's very, very slippery. But it didn't matter too much there. That's the flight you want. Got a great skip up at the end too. Last forehand though, DD1. This one's the most stable, so I'm gonna try to give it a bit more flex. I didn't quite get the power on that. Did get the flex though. Think it'll be a bit short, but we'll have a putt. Yeah, if this one didn't slip out of my hand, I think it would have been up there with the other ones. 4 hands with sweaty hands, not a good combination. Let's knock that down to make up for it. No. And the other 3 were pretty much the exact same. We're just gonna do 1 putt for all 3 of these, right in the middle. 3 birdies with 1 putt. Let's do it. Let's go, guys. My circle 2 putting has gotten so much better lately. I've changed a few things with my putt and it seems to be working for me. So if you want me to make a video about circle 2 putting, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Now we really get to sail one out there. Last hole today is about 420 feet, a little bit downhill. We're gonna throw the drive first and get some redemption for this disc. Oh, that time it flips. It didn't flip over though, it's just holding straight. Dang, that thing is crushed. I think we're like 30 feet long in the basket. That's what the drive is for. I love that. See if we can top it with the Wraith now. The Wraith does have some more turn than that drive does. Jeez, that thing is going far too. Yeah, didn't go quite as far as the drive did though. The drive of the drive went further than the drive of the Wraith. So much driving. Now the DD1. Oh! That thing is so much more stable than the other 2. It really feels more like a 12 speed in my opinion. And last throw today with the Grace. Smooth it on out there. Again, Grace doesn't want to flip up either. Those 2 discs, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Different category. Different category of 11 speed. Almost pin high for the DD1 and the Grace, but just way too far left. Much more overstable disc. And we did have a right to left wind in their defense, but so did the Wraith and the drive. Wow, my drive with the drive, edge of circle long, so about 450 feet right there. I know it's a little downhill, but still, what a throw. And the first birdie of the day with the drive. Was kind of starting to not like it, but after that, I think that throw changed my opinion. Good birdie there with the Wraith as well. So what do I think about the drive? I think it's a great disc. I'm glad Discraft finally made a nice stable 11 speed to compete with the Wraith. Is it better than the Wraith though? I'm not really sure. That's not for me to decide. It's really all up to what you prefer in a disc. If you like a smaller rim on your drivers, the drive is great. I can't get over that. It is smaller than all the rest of them, and I definitely could tell that. Feels very good in my hand. I would have preferred a little bit more dome to it though. Hopefully in some later runs, I'll get some more domey ones. But yeah, in terms of flight, it flew very similar to the Wraith. It did not want to turn though. The thing that surprised me most, especially on that last throw, I gave it Hyzer, it flipped all the way up to flat, and it just stayed there. It just wanted to hold flat and go straight. Didn't have much fade down at the end either. Just a very straight disc. I'd compare it to a faster flying Passion. But yeah, these other 2, DD1 and the Grace, a little bit too overstable for what I was looking for in a controllable 11 speed. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed these videos and you learned something today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.